Back with Madden 12 Ultimate Team update number 7, and I have some fairly good news. I had mentioned in my last update that I was unsure whether or not I was going to be able to finish the Fantasy Week 1 through 9 offense collection. Well, as about noon this past Monday, EA made a quote-unquote fix that gave us back any Week 1 through 8 Fantasy Collection reward cards that we may have discarded or had already completed and thrown into the collections. I've been getting a lot of questions regarding this, and I will try to explain this the best that I can. If you noticed, in my last episode, I ended up waiting to put Fantasy Revis, Willis, and Harrison into their fantasy collections. What I really should have done was threw them all in, because basically what EA has done is rewarded people who have went ahead and threw their collection reward fantasy cards into the collection prior to Monday. So as a result of this, I will not be receiving another Fantasy Revis back and return to keep. The fix only applied to fantasy reward cards from weeks 1 through 8, not 9. So regardless of whether or not I threw Fantasy James Harrison into the collection, I would have never got him back regardless. So from now on, if you throw any week 1 through 8 collection reward into the week 1 through 9 collections, as of today, you will not be receiving any card back. All in all, I thought this was pretty fair. I would have loved to have been able to keep Fantasy Revis, but had I known that they were going to do this, I would have thrown all of my week 1 through 9 cards into the collections without hesitating. Some of the cards I received back I ended up discarding, like Fantasy Jason Babin and Cam Newton. However, I did end up keeping a few of the good ones like Aaron Rodgers and DeMarcus Ware. I ended up getting Fantasy Jeremy Maclin back, which was my main concern, so I'm not going to complain. At least now I am able to finish that collection and in return get the week 1 through 9 fantasy offense reward, which as you guys can see is 99 overall fantasy Calvin Johnson, which also gives you a +2 to throw power. The week 1 through 9 fantasy defense collection reward is 99 overall fantasy Patrick Willis, which also gives you a +3 to hit power. So after this past weekend, I ended up picking up a few rare fantasy cards, which I'm not sure what I plan to do with, like Fantasy Corey Webster. I may end up holding on to them as trade bait for possible future fantasy cards that may turn out to be a problem, or somehow work a deal for a legendary player that I don't already have. This past Monday night, they also released another Club 100 card in the Gold Premium and Legendary packs. This time it was Adrian Peterson. However, you would have never known about it if you didn't check the Madden Ultimate Team Twitter page or the EA forums. They never put a message up, and I don't even remember them putting a message down in the scroll bar about it. They released him at 6 o'clock again, just like they did last Monday, and I bet they didn't even last a whole hour in packs. I was pulling packs at the same time trying to keep track of how many were left from the people that were pulling packs on the forums. And I remember seeing someone say that they pulled number 20 of 100, and it hadn't even been 10 minutes after they released the card. So all of the cards went quick, but unfortunately again I was unable to pull one. I bought I think about 5 legendary packs, and as you guys can see here, my best pack was 99 overall Raiders Jerry Rice. So that leaves 2 Club 100 cards left, Tom Brady for throw accuracy, and then James Harrison for hit power, which is the one I've been waiting for the most out of the 5. So far they have been releasing these on Mondays at 6, so I would say there's a pretty good chance another may be released next Monday. But again, the best way to check would be the Madden Ultimate Team Twitter page, because that is where they will announce it first. I'll post a link to that page in the description. That about wraps up this update. I want to give a quick thanks to RazorSharp6994 for hooking me up with a Brandon LaFell, which allowed me to complete the LSU College Collection, in which the reward is 96 overall Todd McClure from the Falcons. The only collections I have left now besides the BCAs are Florida, in which I still need Rex Grossman, Alabama, in which I still need the 2 silvers Kareem Jackson and Javier Arenas, and finally the Oregon State and California, in which I'm slowly making progress. Again guys, I really appreciate all of your support. If it wasn't for all of you, I would probably not be making any of these videos. Stay tuned for more Madden Ultimate Team. This is Infamous. Peace.